Brad with KirkLee Bikes, and I'm here to talk about the new KirkLee 29er that we've developed. Starting at the front end, we built the bike around a Cannondale lefty, machine cups cold molded into carbon fiber, where we press the cups into the frame and then we wrap carbon around the cups. So we can use Cannondale's 1.5" steer tube that uses a bottom bracket tool, threads in from the bottom into the OPI stem, so there's no pinch bolts on the back of the stem. Moving backwards, built very similar to the KirkLee road bike, with the exception that we have a few extra layers of carbon on the front end to account for the leverage and use of a mountain bike. Where the road bikes, we're doing mostly ultralight tubing on the road bikes. We do standard tubing on this bike, not so much for strength, but for when you wreck it and when the bars swing around. Same with the down tube. Moving into this bike, 73mm bottom bracket. The seat tube flows into an integrated seat mast that is all one tube. It's not two tubes put together. It's one tube, machined here, or bonded here. And then you may see a video of what we've done on the road bike. This is the prototype. We knew if we could build a 29er with independent stays and make it last, then the road bike would be coming. So you'll see a lot of similarities. And the curves of this rear end also are reflected on our road bike. But some of the differences where we could have just put a straight piece of carbon right here and be done with it, we molded a curve that flows with the overall look of the rear end of this bike. Now moving on down, the dropouts, where the road bikes have a pivot point in the rear dropout, the mountain bikes, we make each dropout specially for that bike, for the angle, and that's because we want to be able to support the non-drive disc brake, or the disc brake on the non-drive side. So then to make a match, we do the drive side. But much like the road bike, this too is fully wired for electronic shifting. So if you wanted to ever run a K-Edge Di2 swap on this bike, it's ready for it. And the dropouts are anodized 6061 aluminum. We also run the brake cables internal on this bike right here, where they go in under the top tube, but they flow right through here. And you can see here with the light, even this seam, I mean, we left no stone overturned. Even the outside layer of this tube is laid up for impact, where the inside of the tube is laid up for power transmission on both the chain stays and seat stays. And you can see it in the change of the pattern here in the carbon. Overall, a beautiful bike. This bike was loaned to Mountain Flyer magazine, and during the test, they entered it in the Breck Epic and won the final stage of the riders class in the Breck Epic. So, and in the form you see here, it probably has about 2,000 off-road miles on it, and we dusted it off the best we could and brought it to the show.